Hi, I'm Jodi Good. I'm a singer-songwriter from New York City, and I'm here at CMJ with the AU Review. Very good. I mean, very chaotic and very busy, but it's definitely a very full week. Very exciting.
That's for sure. How many shows are you doing this time around?
2 shows. I did one already. Yeah.
And because you're in New York, you don't really have to do the whole 15 shows in
Right, exactly.
7 days thing.
Right, because, you can perform anywhere, anytime when you're living in New York, and it's awesome.
I imagine the CMJ is just a super amplified version of what New York's like.
That's absolutely what I say. Like, when I can't get to a show that I'm, like, bummed about, I'm like, well, I'll see them again, because, like, they'll be back, and, yeah.
A little spoiled in the city.
Yeah. In that case, yes.
Definitely. You know, how does the city then, inspire you musically? I mean, it's such a, infamous city for the creative world.
It is. I am not like others in where I'm not the biggest fan of New York City, but I will say the inspiration comes from the eclectic people, definitely for me. Just being on the subway and watching people and hearing their conversations, and there's never a dull moment.
So you spy on people a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's talk about your new record. We were just talking, it came out a couple of months ago now.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So it is my first professionally recorded EP. I recorded a lot of songs growing up on my computer myself, but this one I was like, all right, I just got through a horrible breakup, I'm gonna do it real. I'm gonna use all this emotion and passion and put it towards something good, and it's called Definitely Different, because after knowing me for like a week, people are like, you're like different than anyone I've ever met, and not necessarily good, not necessarily bad, but I thought it was a good way to introduce myself right off the bat. And yeah, they're all songs that I wrote. And the one different thing I think separates me from other artists is like complete transparency. I really don't try to hide anything.
Look, that's a great attribute for any artist, and as an introduction, that's not a bad place to start. So. Yeah. It must feel good to have an EP finally out there that you can share and you can share with people. Right.
It feels really good just to be able to hand them something like with a cover and that I'm actually proud of. That's not like half-assed. I put a lot of work into it, a lot of hours.
So did you perform with a band on the record?
It was actually all done in a home studio with one guy playing all the instruments. Jimmy Landry. It was done in his home studio, and it's really amazing to me that you could do that without a full band. Like, I had no clue going into it what it was like to make a record.
So how do you translate that live?
Well, live, it's much easier to make vocals clear on a record with instruments in the background and whatnot, but I always find my pet peeve with female singers is that I can never hear them over the band. So when I perform, I usually just do acoustic guitar and me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And that makes it an easy way to travel as well.
Absolutely. I'm all about easy. Yeah.
So what's next for you? What's the rest of the year holding?
I just went to Nashville for the first time, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to move there in a few months. So I'm going to be flying down there a bunch and writing with people. I already met some contacts down there, and then I'm going to be touring some places in the Midwest and the East Coast.
So you feel a little more of a connection with that part of the world than New York, perhaps?
Absolutely.
Why do you think that is?
It's less fast-paced. People are much more welcoming and eager to help. Here, everyone's on their own mission, next. And I feel like I was there for 4 days, and I made real connections with a handful of people, and I've been here, a year and a half, and I've made real connections with a handful of people.
Where were you before New York?
Long Island. I was born in New York. So, but I've always felt like my heart was somewhere else, so I just decided to get on a plane to Nashville, and I definitely found it.